Good morning, students. This is 11th Standard Botany video class, video 5. In this video, we are going to continue the lesson Transport in Plants. Dear students, we are going to see the topic transpiration. What is transpiration? So, this word you already studied in the lower classes. What is transpiration and its type? Transpiration means removal of excess water from the aerial part of a plant through minute opening which is present in the leaves is called transpiration. So the excess of water is released in the atmosphere in the form of water vapor through the aerial part of a plant through stomata is known as transpiration. Dear students, the plants which are absorbing water from the soil and it will be reaches to the plant leaf region to do the photosynthetic function. After that, the remaining water will be removed in the form of water vapor to the atmosphere. For example, if you are absorbing 100% of water, only 5% of water is utilized for photosynthetic process. Remaining will be liberated in the form of water vapor. So see the definition. Kindly make a note in your textbook. What is transpiration? Loss of excess of water in the form of water vapor from various aerial parts of a plant is known as transpiration. So the transpiration is otherwise known as a kind of evaporation. So the evaporation or transpiration is taken place through the minute opening which is present in the leaves is known as stomata. The xylem which are absorbing the water and mineral salts from the soil through the root hairs and conducting to the different parts of the body at 75 centimeter per minute. So within a minute, it will be transport the water and mineral salts up to 75 centimeter. Is a 1 mark question. Xylem which are transporting water and mineral salts within 1 minute equal to dash, that is 75 centimeter. Dear students, the rate of transpiration in some of the plants is given in the table column. Corn plant, it transpires 2 liter, sunflower 5 liters, maple tree 200 liters, date palm 450 liters. Dear students, this table column is important 1 mark question. These are all the different plants which are removing the excess water through the aerial parts of a plant body, that is transpiration. Next, we are going to see the types of transpiration. So this one also you studied in 9th standard, that is stomatal transpiration, lenticular transpiration and cuticular transpiration. So out of these three, most probably 90% of transpiration is taken place through stomata. Is a minute opening present in the leaf surface. Dear students, stomata are very minute structure, that is microscopic, present more in number in the lower epidermis than the upper epidermis. The transpiration of the stomata is taken place through the stomata is known as stomatal transpiration. Most of the percentage of transpiration is taken place through stomata, that is 90 to 95 percentage. That transpiration is called stomatal transpiration. Next one, lenticular transpiration. It will be occur in the stem of woody plants and trees. The epidermis of a stem which is replaced by periderm is a secondary growth. So during this secondary growth, gaseous change is taken place between the living cells and the outer atmosphere. Some spores which look like lens-shaped raised spot are present on the surface of the stem is called lenticels. So what is lenticels? That means in order to do the gaseous exchanges between the living cell and outer atmosphere, some of the pores are look like lens-shaped raised the spots present on the surface is known as lenticels. Loss of water is taken place through lenticels is very significant. The amount of transpiration taken place by lenticel is 0.1 percentage. Dear students, the percentage transpiration by stomata, lenticular and cuticular transpiration very important. Stomatal transpiration removes 90 to 90 percentage of water. Then lenticels which are liberating 0.1 percentage of water. The third type is cuticular transpiration. Cuticle is the outermost layer present outer side of the epidermis. It is a waxy coated layer or resinous layer known as cutin. If the fatty substance are covering the epidermis of the leaves and other plant parts. So loss of water through cuticle is very small. The percentage of the transpiration is 5% to 10%. The thickness of the cuticle increases in xerophyte and the transpiration is very much reduced or totally absent. So xerophyte means plants which are living in the desert region. They need each and every drop of water, isn't it? They store it in the plant pots so that they don't want to do the transpiration process, so that the thickness of the cuticle is increases in xerophyte. That means they are having 2 to 3 layer thickness or 4 to 5 layer thickness. So due to this thickness of a cuticle, the transpiration is very much reduced in xerophytic plants, or totally transpiration is absent in the xerophytic plants. Next we are going to see structure of stomata. The leaf epidermis and green stem epidermis possess or contains a minute pore or small pores are called stomata. The length and breadth of the stomata is 10 to 40 mu and 3 to 10 mu. Then the mature leaves contain between 50 and 500 stomata per millimeter squared. So in a particular millimeter square area, a mature leaves which contains 50 to 500 stomata is important. One more question. Stomata are made up of with two bean-shaped cell is known as God cell. The shape is look like semi-lunar பிறைச்சந்திரன் மூன்றாம் பிறை நிலா மாதிரி இருக்கும், or kidney shaped living epidermal cell in the epidermis. So this is the only epidermal cell which are showing the life activities. So it is the living cell in the epidermal cells. God cells are attached to the surrounding epidermal cells known as subsidiary cell or accessory cell. That means outer to the God cell. So 3 to 8 cells which are presenting there. outer to the God cell or surrounding the epidermal cell is known as subsidiary cell or accessory cell. Both the God cells are joined together at each end and they are free to separate to form a minute pore between them. That pore is known as stoma. The inner wall of the God cell is thicker than the outer wall. The stoma, which is open interior side of the leafy region in a cavity called substomatal cavity. They are connected with the intercellular spaces. That means the mesophil region which contains spongy parenchyma and palisade parenchyma. So the spongy parenchyma which are having number of air spaces. So the substomatal cavity is connected with the intercellular spaces. Dear students, see the diagram. This is the structure of stomata. So the green color portion, bean shaped structure or kidney shaped structure is called God cells. They are joining at the tips by creating the minute opening is called stomatal pore. So these God cells are surrounded by a few cells which is present outer region is known as subsidiary cells which are connecting the God cell to the epidermal cell. So this is the structure of stomata. Is the important 2-mark question. Draw and label the structure of stomata. The next topic is mechanism of stomatal movement. So the stomatal movement is regulated by a pressure created inside the God cell. That pressure is known as turgor pressure. What is the turgor pressure? That means if the God cells are received water from the outside, so endosmosis has taken place. So once the God cells are filled with water, it makes the cell wall to move outside. A pressure created between the cytoplasm and the cell wall of a God cell is known as turgor pressure. Due to the turgor pressure only, the stomatal activities are regulated. See, when the water enters into the God cell, it swells up and the shape is unevenly thickened. So the walls stretch up and resulting the stomata to open because they are pushing the water molecule towards the outer region. So what will happen? They are moving in the lateral position and make a minute opening at the center and make the stomata to open. This is due to concave non-elastic nature of inner wall pulled away from each other and stretching the convex elastic nature outer wall of the God cell. Thus the stomata is opening due to the pressure taken place towards the cell wall. So this pressure make the God cell to move in the lateral position and the stomata opens. So based upon the turgor pressure produced in the stomatal activity, the different theories are proposed. One is the theory of photosynthesis in God cell, starch-sugar interconversion theory, active potassium transport ion concept. First one, theory of photosynthesis in God cell. A scientist named Van Maal in the year 1856 observed that stomata which is opening in the daytime and it's closed in the night time. According to Van Maal, a God cells which contains chloroplast which is responsible for photosynthesis in the presence of sunlight resulting in the production of carbohydrate, that is starch. So the production of starch in the daytime increases the osmotic pressure in the gut cell. So this osmotic pressure leads to the entry of water from the other cell and stomatal aperture opens. That means the water which is present in the outer side of a cell enter into the gut cell due to the creation of osmotic pressure. So the gut cells are moving in the lateral position, make the stomatal aperture means opening. Aperture means a small pore or a cavity to open. So this process has taken place in a vice versa manner, that is reversible manner, night time, leads to the closure of stomata. That means what will happen? The water which is present inner side of the gut cell is oozed outside. So the turgor pressure is released. The both gut cells are flaccid due to the absence of water inner side of the gut cell. And also there is no sunlight to do the photosynthetic process to produce carbohydrate or starch. So the gut cells are flaccid and make the stomata to closed. That is the activities which is taken place in the night time. So this theory is known as photosynthesis in gut cell. This theory is also showing some demerits, that is disadvantage. A chloroplast which is present in the gut cell is poorly developed and also it is incapable of do the photosynthetic process. The second demerit is the gut cells are already contains large amount of stored sugar material. So no need to produce sugar inside the gut cell. So these two are the advantage or demerits of theory of photosynthesis in gut cell. Dear students, this is the important 3-mark question. Write a short notes on theory of photosynthesis in gut cell. The another important theory, make a note in your textbook, starch-sugar interconversion theory. So according to Lloyd, 1908, the turgidity of the gut cell depends on the interconversion of starch and sugar. So this thought was supported by Loftfield in the year 1921. So he found that gut cells are containing sugar molecules. During the daytime, when they are opening the stomata, and the starch during the night when they are closed. See, according to these scientists, what they are telling means starch-sugar interconversion theory. That means the daytime, the gut cells are already containing the sugar molecules, so that the stomata is opening. Daytime, they are preparing the starch, so the stomata is closed. That theory is known as starch-sugar interconversion theory. Next one, Seri, another scientist. He observed that opening and closing of the stomata is taken place due to the changes in the pH of gut cell. According to Seri, the stomata is opening at the daytime due to the high content of pH. At night time, it will be closed due to the low content of pH. So, utilization of carbon dioxide by photosynthesis during light period causes increase in pH value, resulting in the conversion of starch to sugar. So daytime, they are opening the stomata. How they are taken in? Due to the absorption of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere in daytime by photosynthesis, increase in result of pH value in the God cells. It makes the starch into sugar. The starch amount which is increased in the cell favors endosmosis and increase the turgor pressure which leads to the opening of stomata. So the sugar content which is increased in the God cell which are favoring the endosmosis process. So the water is entered inside the God cell and increase the turgor pressure so that the stomata is open. Likewise, accumulation of carbon dioxide in the cell during night decreases and produce the pH level is also decreasing, resulting in the conversion of sugar into starch. So starch decreases, the turgor pressure is of God cell and stomata close. So that is said to be starch-sugar interconversion theory is a very, very important 5-mark question. So the next theory of starch and sugar conversion theory is, interconversion theory is, a scientist named Hans find out the enzyme phosphorylase present in the God cell in the year 1940. This phosphorylase only which supports the conversion of starch into sugar. So the enzyme which is present in the God cell which hydrolyzes the starch into sugar, that means the God cells which are absorbing large amount of water. So this water convert the starch into sugar, followed by pH is also increases. Endosmosis is taken place so that the stomata is opening during daytime, that is light time. In the night time, it will be taken place in a opposite manner, that is vice versa. That means water molecules are liberated outside due to the enzyme phosphorylase. Exosmosis is taken place. pH value is also decreases. So it makes the God cell to flaccid and the stomata closed at night time. So this is the another experimental process of starch and sugar interconversion theory. Dear students, see the diagram. Starch plus phosphoric acid PO4, the enzyme phosphorylase hydrolyzes, phosphorylase synthesize glucose 1-phosphate, that means sugar molecule. The another theory is also proposed by Stewart in the year 1964. Stewart slightly modified the starch-sugar interconversion theory. According to Stewart, glucose 1-phosphate, that is sugar molecule, is osmotically inactive. They are not doing any activities. So from that glucose, we are removing the one molecule of phosphate. From glucose 1-phosphate, convert into glucose. So this osmotically inactive glucose 1-phosphate increases the concentration of God cell, leads to opening of stomata. So that means glucose 1-phosphate is the osmotically inactive. That one molecule of phosphate is removed from the glucose 1-phosphate, convert into glucose. This glucose is very active. So they are increasing the concentration of your God cell, leads to the opening of stomata at daytime. So this is all the different theory proposed by starch-sugar interconversion. So this theory is also having some delimits, that is objections. First one, in monocots, God cell does not have the starch. It's the main thing. There is no starch in the God cell in monocot plant. The next one, there is no evidence to show the presence of sugar in the God cell when starch disappears and stomata open. So, no evidence for show the presence of sugar molecule in the God cell when starches disappears and the stomata is open. So, these two are the limitation of interconversion theory. Dear students, see the diagram. This is the conversion of Stewart scheme, daytime and nighttime. So glucose 1-phosphate, nighttime 1-phosphate molecule is removed from the glucose 1-phosphate by the exogenase, so that nighttime there is no concentration of sugar molecule inside the God cell. So sugar molecules are oozes outside. It makes the stomata to close. In the daytime, glucose 1-phosphate is converted into glucose 6-phosphate by the enzyme isomerase. Then again it will be converted into glucose and inorganic phosphate. So this glucose, which are absorbing water from the outside and increase the concentration of the God cell, it makes to move in the lateral position and also make a stomata to open. So that is the activities of stomata which is taken place in daytime and nighttime according to Stewart. So this starch sugar conversion theory is also showing another limitation or disadvantage. It fails to explain the drastic change in pH from 5 to 7 by change of carbon dioxide. So if the carbon dioxide level is changed, means the pH values also changes, isn't it? That means the value of 5 to 7 is unable to explain it by different scientists put forward the starch and sugar interconversion theory. The next theory of stomatal opening and closes, theory of K plus transport, is a very very important 5-mark question. Describe the theory of K transport. This was proposed by Leavitt, elaborated by Russky in the year 1975. According to this theory, the following steps are involved in the stomatal opening. First one, in daytime, that is light period, in God cell, starch is converted into organic acid, that is malic acid. This is the first procedure. What is that one? In God cell, starch is converted into organic acid or malic acid. So this malic acid, which is present in the God cell, split into, dissociated into malate anion and proton. So malic acid, which is converted into malate anion and proton. That means negative charge and positive charge. Negative charge is malate anion and proton is the positive charge. So these protons are transported through the membrane into nearby subsidiary cells with the exchange of potassium ions from subsidiary cells to God cell. So the protons are transported through the cell membrane of a God cell into nearby subsidiary cell. That means what will happen? The God cell which are containing the malic acid split into two, malate anion and proton. So these protons are transported to the nearby subsidiary cells of God cell through cell membrane. From this subsidiary cells, they are intaking the potassium ions to the God cell. That is said to be exchange of ions. They are liberating protons from inner side of the God cell to the subsidiary cell. The subsidiary cell which are transporting potassium ions to the God cell. This process involves in the electrical gradient and it is called ion exchange. This ion exchange process is a very active process. They are consuming the energy from adenosine triphosphate molecules. So increased potassium ions in the God cells are balanced by chloride ions present in the God cell. Increase in solute concentration decreases the water potential in the God cell. So the God cell becomes hypertonic and favors the entry of water from the surrounding cells. So the potassium ions which is present in the God cells are increased. They are balanced by chloride ion. The solute concentration is increases. But water potential is reduced, psi. What is the symbol of water potential? Psi. So water potential is decreases. So the God cell becomes hypertonic. Solute concentration increases. Water potential is, what is that one? Low, that is decreases. So this hypotonic solution or concentration favors to enter the water molecules from the subsidiary cells to God cell. Then increased turgor pressure due to the entry of water opens the stomata pore during daytime. So that theory is said to be theory of potassium ion exchange theory. Dear students, see the diagram, stomata. Stomata which are containing the malic acid. The malic acid split into malate ions and protons. The protons are liberated outside through the cell membrane, and potassium ion which is present in the God cells are subsidiary cells are entered into the God cell. So the concentration of solute is increases, water potential is decreases. So they are absorbing the water molecule from the outside. So it makes the pressure in the cell wall of a God cell and make the God cells are move in the lateral position and stomata opens. That will be taken place in the daytime. But in the dark time, there is night time. So a pressure which is occur in the God cells decreases. That means solute concentration is decreases. Water potential is increases. So what will happen? The potassium ion which is present in the God cells, it will be enter into the subsidiary cells. So the concentration is decreases. It makes the God cell to flaccid. That means chappaya irukum, melissa, tattaya irukku, and make the stomata to close at the night time. Here they are using the abscisic acid which is present inner side of the God cell. See the activities which is taken place in the night time. Night time photosynthesis stops and respiration is continuous. So the accumulation of carbon dioxide in the substomatal cavity. This accumulation of carbon dioxide which decreases the level of pH. The low pH value make the shortage of water in the God cell. Activate the stress hormone is known as abscisic acid. So this abscisic acid will stop the further entry of potassium ions from the subsidiary cell to the God cell and also it makes the potassium ions to leak out to the subsidiary cells from the God cell. So the loss of water from the God cell is taken place. So it reduces the turgor pressure and makes the stomata to close. So that is the procedure is taken place in night time by ion exchange, potassium ion exchange theory. Dear students, so these are all the different theories of stomatal opening and closing. Dear students, I hope you all understood the topic taught in the video. Remaining, we will see in the next video class. God bless you. All the best, children.